Now, this one may be somebody that Sister Margaret Mary might know. And I think, let me bring this to the front. This would be something that Cindy might know a little bit about, and maybe Linda also, because she's into genealogy. Let me read the story about them, or her, them actually. It's an obituary, husband and wife, remembering Charles and Laura Pillot, January 5th, 1955. In the quiet town of Louisville, Ohio, the spires of St. Louis Catholic Church rose above the modest streets, a beacon for the faithful of the community. For Charles George Pillot and his wife Laura E. Pillot, the church was more than a building. It was the heart of their family life and the cornerstone of their devotion. Charles, a lifelong resident of Louisville, was a devoted member of St. Louis Church and also belonged to the Eagles Lodge in nearby Canton. He spent his days working and serving his family, raising 4 daughters and sharing the values of faith with everyone he met. When he passed away in January 1955, at age 65, the church bells tolled for the beloved parishioner, whose funeral was held at St. Louis Church, where friends and families gathered to celebrate his life and the commitment to the parish. Laura, his widow, remained deeply rooted in the same church. After Charles' death, she continued to be an active member of St. Louis Catholic Church and joined the St. Anne's Altar and Rosary Society, dedicating herself to the spiritual life of the congregation. When she died in December 1966 at age 75, the community mourned the loss of a woman whose faith had guided her through life's joys and sorrows. A Requiem High Mass was sung at St. Louis Church, honoring her service to the altar and her devotion to the Rosary Society. The Pillot's legacy lived on in the pews of St. Louis Church, where generations of Louisville residents remembered their kindness, their involvement in church activities, and the example they set of living a life of faith, family, and community service. Their story became a cherished thread in the tapestry of December 28th, 1966, when Laura's Mass was celebrated. And in the memory of the community that honored both Pilots for their enduring faith and service at St. Louis Catholic Church in Louisville, Ohio. I think we've had stories about the Louisville Church in the preceding weeks. Now, I'll ask you, anyone actually, do you know who Charles and Laura Pillot are? Okay, we're talking, let's just get the name out. Sister Mary Katherine Pillot was their daughter. And so, of course, Sister knew Sister Mary Katherine Pillot because she stayed with her at the villa.
Right.
And we know their daughter personally.
Well, that's later on. No, and Sister Margaret Mary knows her because she was at the villa. And actually, before she was at the villa, when my sister Connie, before she had her stroke, she was in a car accident and she had like amnesia, and I think I've told the story several times, but anyway, she had amnesia just like they have on soap operas where, she couldn't remember, she didn't have any short-term memory. She could remember things way far back, but she couldn't remember things short. We had to keep telling her about the accident. But anyway, miracle, which let me continue. The most important thing, it's like the only miracle I ever saw. It was miraculous because Connie, I had come down, I was working in Toledo then, and I had come down and stayed with her in the hospital room. But I was there for like maybe a day or two, and like she just had no memory. And Sister, Katherine Pillot came in the room, and all of a sudden Connie had memory. So that's sort of like it's either like a great coincidence or it's a miracle. So I would say it's a miracle.
That's beautiful. Candy, thank you for remembering all that.